Alright, we should be live. What's up, everybody? Well, we got two slates to go through today, Cup and Xfinity. We're going to talk about both of them on this live stream because I will be going out of town after the stream's over. Got to get a quick little packing in. I'm going to the beach with my dad, so, yeah. I'm going to do one video for both today, so, hopefully go a little bit longer. You guys can ask me questions about either slate. I don't really care. I'll answer them. It's not like we have one time we're talking about one, everyone we're talking about another. Ask whatever you want about either slate. Don't matter. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out your question. Most of these names are not the same. So, Jay Duncan says, "Morning, everybody. Good morning. What an oddball finish yesterday. His announcer was calling victory in turn one on the last lap." I mean, yeah, I can't believe that. That was wild. You don't see that every day. Guy cutting a tire on the last freaking turn. That sucked for Larson. Cool for Bowman, but what you gonna do? Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much, it was an interesting finish. We move on to today, see if Larson can bounce back and win. I don't think anyone at this point would be that surprised if Larson came out and won this race, but, we'll see what happens. So, yeah, I guess we'll get started with the Xfinity Series. Let me pull up my sheet on my side here. My talking screen, that's not the right one. Yeah, hold on 1 second. All right. No viewers, fantastic. This happens when you go live at 10:30 in the freaking morning. We'll start. Honestly, I don't even want to start. There's no one here, so why should I start talking? Might as well just chill for a little bit. All right, we'll start out with what's up, Nesca? How you doing, bro? We'll start with Austin Cindric. He's gonna need to lead laps to pay off his salary. This sheet's over here, the second sheet. Starting 13th, 11,000, he's going to need to lead laps. I can definitely see that happening. That definitely seems viable for him. I mean, has some place differential upside as well. And if this race is anything like, honestly, the past 2 days of racing, which I kind of expect it to be, I'm really more interested in place differential. Like, I'm honestly have changed my thoughts on a lot of the drivers from my original video because of just seeing how these Pocono races have gone. I think the place differential is just way more important. So I'm going to like Cindric and Ty Gibbs a lot, and that's going to make me not like Gregson Allgaier. Gibbs and Cindric do still need to lead some laps to really hit value, but, I mean, they're some of the more likely lap leaders in these races today, so I don't see any reason why they cannot get up front as well as get the place differential. Josh Berry starts 33rd at 10,200. He's in the 31 car for Jordan Anderson Racing. Really not sure how that car is going to run. He's kind of a wild card here for me today. It needs a top 12 to pay it off. He has the talent to do it, but, I mean, last week Reddick was bad at Nashville, and Tyler Reddick, in my opinion, is just a better driver than Josh Berry. More experience, but he didn't run well at all in this car, so that kind of worries me about Josh Berry a little bit, but if you want to get there, you can. I think I'd rather go to Sam Mayer, who's going to need a top 7. I mean, this kid's the future, him and Ty Gibbs. I mean, I've said it a lot now. You guys probably know by now that Sam Mayer is, like, next up. He's going to be someone that is going to be taking over the Xfinity Series by storm. I expect him next year or two, winning some races, maybe competing for championships, and eventually getting a good Cup ride, so I want to get on him early because I think he'll be priced up where Ty Gibbs is eventually. I'm happy DraftKings didn't make him, at least somewhat expensive. They didn't, put him at 5,400 like they did on Ty Gibbs' debut. But a top 7 does seem very, very viable for Sam Mayer here. I do like that a lot. Daniel Hemrick is going to need to lead laps. I just don't see it. I just want place differential. He can get out front, but unless he leads a ton, I don't see it. What's up, Ray? How you doing? Chris Lucky says, Sam Mayer's a bust today. Interesting. I would like to know why. As Legalized says, why? It's interesting. That's a fun take. I disagree, but, maybe it happens. Maybe he doesn't run well. I'm not saying he's going to win, but I think he should compete for a top 7. I'm late, Nate. You're late by 4 minutes. You're all good, Chris. You are all good. All right, so Hemrick, Allmendinger, Burton, Jones all really need to lead laps here. They just don't offer you any place differential really at all. I would just much rather, go to guys like Cindric, Gibbs, Mayer, in this top-tier range. But if I did have to pick any of these, this Ford I think could, potentially lead to most laps, it would be Hemrick. But I'm still just focusing more on place differential today, which actually I got to make lineups for this race still. I'm going to be doing that on stream. I was working on Cup this morning. I completely forgot about Xfinity. I have just dead contests in right now. Just dead lineups. lack of seat time. At best, he finishes 13th. No fast laps, no laps led. I mean, I can see him not leading laps, but I don't think the lack of seat time is going to hurt him. I mean, we saw Ty Gibbs win in his first start. He had never raced in the Xfinity Series. Now, I know it's a road course, it's Pocono, but, I mean, I think Sam Mayer should still run well. He won, like, his second ever race in Truck Series last year at Bristol. So, he was 17 years freaking old. I mean, but if you want to play him, I understand it. I don't think he's, like, a lock. 10,000 is a lot for Sam Mayer, so I understand not getting to him. And I do think Sam Mayer's a lot less likely to lead laps than guys like Cindric, Gibbs, Gragson, Allgaier, Hemrick, and AJ. But, I mean, he still has that potential, so still has that upside. Riley Herbst needs top 4. This is the first week in a while where I just don't have to play Herbst, and I'm so happy about that. So that's going to be a nice little fade for me. Justin Haley needs a top 5. That's probably about a ceiling. I think you can get to it. I think we can get to it. So I do like going to Justin Haley. Chris Palmer's is Cash, Kyle Busch, Blaney, Byron, Bowman, Newman, and LaJoy Jones are doing. Go LaJoy out of that group. I mean, Cash and Cup is going to be so... Everyone's going to play such a similar lineup. So, yeah, just play place differential on Cash. We'll get to there. It's pretty... Cup race is pretty simple today, in my opinion. Who leads early into Cindric or Gibbs go to the leads pair of either or both? I would say probably Allgaier or AJ, but I'd probably lean more Allgaier. But, I mean, even then, I don't think you need to pair Allgaier with one of those guys because unless they lead like 30, 40 laps, they probably aren't going to do much for you. Mayer in 8, Barry and Jordan Anderson's car. Yep, that's where we're at today. Josh Berry is not in nearly as good of equipment, but I don't think it's awful. I'm still like on the fence about that 31 Jordan Anderson car. I don't know. I'm still wondering about that car. Larson will start back. Yes, he will. But he's being scored from 12th. Where's the starting position? There we go. There's your starting positions. Santino Ferrucci is going to need a top 13 to pay off his salary. That's kind of his ceiling, I feel like. I mean, you can go to that if you want, but that just is really, like, I think his best finish this year is, like, 12th. So, almost a ceiling. I don't really expect him to do much more, although he has ran this track in the IndyCar series before, I believe. But whatever. I don't really put too much thought into that. Brandon Brown needs a top 12 to pay off his salary. I think Brandon Brown's more likely to get top 12 than Ferrucci is to get a 13, so I prefer Brown. That's just where I'm at. Michael Annett is going to need a top 6. I don't really want to play Michael Annett needing a top 6. Jeb Burton needs a top 5. Same thing. Like, I think that's definitely possible for both of them. I think Burton's probably more likely to get the top 5 than Annett get the top 6, but I just don't want to pay for that. Austin Hill is going to need a top 10 today. I mean, that's kind of his ceiling. I mean, I think he finished 9th last week. That was kind of surprising to me, to be honest. I mean, I think you can pay for Austin Hill. I'd probably prefer to go to Snyder, even though he's been horrible recently. I mean, Snyder has finished inside the top 10 in like 2 months, it feels like. Honestly, I might be close to that. I think it's like a month and a half he hasn't finished inside the top 10, but only needs a top 12 today. He's cheap enough for me to want to go to an RCR car, like at $7,300. At least is a decent enough driver, I think. I mean, I don't think Mike Snyder's good or anything, but like he's a decent enough driver to get you a top 12 in that car. So, yeah, I'll play Mike Snyder today. Alex Labate needs a top 11. He's been running really well, but you're asking a lot for Alex Labate to get a top 11 in DFS, so probably not going to want to go there. Jeremy Clements needs a top 9. I mean, that's probably where he'll run all day. Maybe falls back a little bit, so probably don't want to get much there. Ryan Sieg needs a top 10. Yeah, you're asking a little bit much from Ryan Sieg needing a top 10, so probably not going to want to go there. Brett Moffitt needs top 13. I do like Moffitt. I think that is definitely very viable for him today. I think he has he's very live to get a top 13 in this race today. So I will be going to some Brett Moffitt. Tommy Joe Martins needs top 14. I'd just rather go to Moffitt, honestly. But if you want to go to Martins, I don't hate that. I think that's fine. Joe Graff Jr. is terrible. He needs a... there's no way. I wrote that wrong. I wrote down top 33. That's definitely top 23. There's no way Joe Graff needs a top 33. So we're going to go top 23 is what Joe Graff needs to pay off that salary. Ooh, you're asking a lot out of Joe Graff. You want that, man. I am not paying... I'm really never paying $6,300 for Joe Graff ever. I don't really care where he starts. Landon Castle needs a top 17, starting 23rd. I mean, it feels like a ceiling. I probably don't want to get to that. Now, I do like Jade Buford here. He needs a top 20. Like, I think that's where he can run here. I expect him to get a little bit higher. That car that he's in is actually, like, pretty good. It's better than a lot of these cars down here. So that is definitely something that I do want to go to. I want to get that. He's cheap enough, starting far enough back where I want to get to him. He's been a guy I've been kind of wanting to play all year, but he's never been starting far enough back, and now he is. So I didn't price him up too much. So I like JP Fur today. Ryan Vargas needs top 17. No. Moffitt versus Snyder feels similar. It feels like Snyder and Turney, Moffitt and Cash. Yeah, I mean, you can go either way. I like both of them, so it don't matter for me. I guess Moffitt, yeah, is probably a little bit safer, just based on how they've been running recently, but, I mean, they're pretty similar plays. All right, Bailey Curry's not racing this week. I need to change that real quick. I don't know how much Jesse Iwuji is, because Jesse Iwuji is taking his spot. I mean, I don't really care how much Jesse Iwuji is. I'm not playing him because Jesse Iwuji is, like, just awful, unless he's, like, literally the cheapest guy in the slate, but let me go find that real quick. I don't even know if Draftkings put him in. Oh, they did. He's 5,200. Okay. Let me just go plug this in. So he's going to be scored starting 34 at 5,200. And let me just type in Jesse Iwuji for you guys. All right. 5,200 Iwuji. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I don't want to play that. I just don't, man. I mean, I don't know what he needs to do, but it's not. I mean, it's probably not going to be that much, but still, Jesse Iwuji is just awful. Like, he might be the worst driver in his field, to be honest, man. He just is bad. So we're not going to play him. Jeffrey Earnhardt. I actually don't hate Earnhardt. For once in my life, I always hate Earnhardt, but today I don't. Top 26. Like, I mean, I don't know. That's just not awful for Jeffrey Earnhardt, man. I mean, these are his last 5, right? Hold on. Yeah, last 5 races, 22nd best average, or an average finish of 22, average position of 23. It's not awful. Like, Jeffrey Earnhardt isn't the worst play in the world today. I hate it. It makes me want to throw up, but I don't hate Jeffrey Earnhardt for once. So if you want to go there, go for it. Game yesterday was ugly, but glad the Suns won. Yeah, I'm with you, man. Go Suns. It was an ugly game. I mean, it was the lowest scoring game of the whole season, any team. But yeah. Chris Palmer hit the like. Yes, sir. Everyone hit that like button. Thanks for that, Chris. Blaine Perkins needs a top 22. That's doable. He's in the Hour Motorsports car, the number 23 car for Hour Motorsports this week. The car we saw Natalie Decker in last week. But, I mean, you know, Blaine Perkins is a better driver than her. Not honestly that much, but he's at least somewhat decent. So I don't hate going to Perkins at all if you want to go there. Joey Gase needs a top 27. I just don't, they kicked out Greg Galding because Greg Galding sucks, but, like, Joey Gase does too, so it's not like they got someone that much better. The car is awful. That car is one of the worst, if not the worst car in the field. Maybe, yeah, I mean, I don't know, that car might be the worst. Jimmy Means 52, it's bad. So I don't really want to play Joey Gase. I just don't think he has any upside to really do anything for you. If you want to play him in cash, I think that's fine, but in tournaments, I'm not playing Joey Gase. Wes says, massive ownership on Newman. What could go wrong? LOL. Yeah, Newman's going to be highly owned. I'm going to be under the field on him today. Not because I don't really love it. Like, I kind of hate there's too many guys I like today, and it just cannot get, everyone a ton. So, but yeah, Newman's going to be high owned. But, I mean, he doesn't need to do a lot to pay it off. As long as he doesn't wreck again, I don't see any reason why he doesn't work out. So, Josh Williams, he starts 22nd, needs a top 19. That's doable, but I don't feel comfortable about that. I like Colby Howard. He needs a top 26. Kind of the same play as Jeffrey Earnhardt, just a little bit cheaper. So I don't have a problem with that. If you want to go to Colby Howard, by all means, go with that one. I like that. David Starr needs a top 20. We're not paying that. I need to change this to Carson Ware. I didn't change it from the video. They're the same person. I mean, I don't really know any difference between Carson and Cody Ware. I'm assuming Carson's probably his younger brother because, usually older ones in more races, but I mean, at 17, car's been fast for Rick Ware this year, but, I mean, a top 24 from Carson Ware, it does seem, a little bit iffy. But, I don't mind going there. Yeah, Custer is going to get a lot of ownership as well, Chris. Honestly, the guy I like the most out of the guys starting all the way in the back is Chastain, but, I mean, all I've seen is Newman and Custer, which I get. They're a little bit cheaper and they start farther back, but, I mean, Chastain could have a top 10. Like, Custer and Newman are not getting a top 10 today. But that's just my opinion. We'll get to Cup in a minute. Almost done with this Xfinity rundown. Jesse Little, top 22. Needed to pay off the salary. Yeah, probably not going to go there. Mason Massey, top 27. Probably not going there. Weatherman, top 24. Not going to go there. Loris Hesmans, top 29. Not going to go there. And Matt Mills needs top 23. Definitely not going there. So that's this quick little rundown on Xfinity. Let me go do the same thing for the Cup Series for you guys. Something what these guys need to do and if I like them. And then, it's just Q&A the rest of the way. So let me pull up this other document on my other screen real quick. All right, Kyle Larson. He is going to need to lead laps to pay off the salary and, get place differential. The problem with Kyle Larson today, he's scored from starting 12th, but he's going to be starting, in the back. Probably not exactly dead last, but, in the 30s. Because a bunch of guys are going to the back, which I guess I could look up for you guys in a little bit. But, it's pretty much the guys who wrecked yesterday are going to the back. So Kyle Larson, it's just, I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel like he's going to get up to the front quickly to lead laps. He might lead some later in the race, but it's going to be really hard to pay off that $12,800 price tag when you are starting at the back at Pocono, which is not an easy track to pass, as you guys saw yesterday. That's not an easy track to get through the field at. It's not a track. Drivers just don't do that at this track. Not place differential. Track position is so important. The pit stop strategy is so important. So I'm just so focused on place differential today. Any driver that has to lead laps pay off their salary, I'm fading. In fact, I think my pool of drivers is 14 or 15 drivers. I only like 14 or 15, but I like those guys a lot. Kyle Busch is the one. Kyle Busch is probably my favorite play. He needs a top 4. I don't know. I think I like Byron and Bowman more. But okay, so Kyle Busch, William Byron, Alex Bowman, I want to lock them in. If you're just making one lineup, start with those 3 guys and then figure out the rest from there. Because those 3, man, this is the same thing as last year. Last year we had the same situation. We had one Pocono race, then the next one the next day, and they did the same thing, inverted the top 20. Well, those guys that were in the optimal lineup on the first race that got sent to the 20s to start were in the optimal lineup again. So they're fast. They were fast the day before. They're gonna be fast again. I'm not saying Bowman's gonna win again, but I'm saying Busch, Bowman, and Byron are gonna find a way to be up front and be fast again. So I like those 3 a ton. They're gonna be the 3 staples in my lineup today. I'm really debating for my tournaments, honestly, going 90 to 100% on those guys. Not there yet. I'm at 60 right now, but I honestly might just send it with those guys and hope for the best. Which Hendrick's been so fast this year, and Kyle Busch has been the only guy who's been able to he's not winning, but he's able to finish in top 5 with them. So I just don't see any reason going wrong with them. I'm not gonna play Newman, so y'all can go for it. I don't mind that fade. There's other good place differential plays down there for sure. There's definitely Chastain, DiBenedetto, Custer, Newman. There's a Corey LaJoy. There's a bunch of good place differential plays today. Martin Truex Jr. needs to lead laps. He didn't show any speed really yesterday either. I'm not playing him. I saw on Twitter earlier, Martin Truex Jr. has finished 18th or worse in 4 of the last 5 races. Wild. The only one he didn't was the road course. He's been struggling this year. Not this year, but recently he's been struggling. So, just hate to see it. Denny Hamlin needs top 4 to pay off his salary. Really like him. He definitely has that upside. I don't like him as much as Kyle. He didn't show as much speed yesterday as Kyle Busch, but I do think Hamlin is someone that could really pay off today. You like Kurt today? Yeah, I do like Kurt today. We'll get to him in a minute, but he's definitely someone that on my radar, or someone who, it's hard to get off ownership today because all the good high-owned plays are the good plays, but that's someone who could be a little bit lesser owned that I do like. Kevin Harvick, he needs a top 3. That's kind of his ceiling, in my opinion. I don't think he wins. I don't think he leads a ton of laps, but a top 3 is possible for him. I'm going to have a little bit of ownership towards him. Not a ton, though. Joey Logano starts 14th. I like Logano more than Harvick. He needs a top 4 to pay off that salary. And Logano ran well all day yesterday. Obviously, led some laps, but that was more because of pit strategy. So Joey Logano should be in for a pretty good run again today. I think a top 5 run is in there for sure. Top 4 pays it off. Maybe even slips inside that top 3. So I do like going to Joey Logano. Hamlin sounded very confident post-race interview. Honestly, didn't even listen to that. So, well, that's good. Hamlin, he's great at Pocono. He should have a good run. I just don't think he's going to win, honestly. But, top 4 or 5, that should definitely be in the cards for Hamlin. Brad Keselowski needs a top 3. We haven't seen any speed from him. Although Penske looked better yesterday, I will say. Blaney, Logano, Keselowski, all 3 of them looked a lot better yesterday. But still, Keselowski is just not someone I'm really too interested in going to. I like Ryan Blaney a lot, though. He needs a top 7 to pay off that salary, which is, where he ran all day yesterday, was inside a top 5 for most of that race. So I like Ryan Blaney a lot. He's going to be someone I want to go to, as is William Byron, as is Alex Bowman. We already talked about them. Byron needs a top 8. Bowman needs a top 10, what these guys have pretty much done all year long. So really like going to both of them for sure. Kurt Busch, who Chris just asked about, he needs a top 8 to pay off that salary. Now that's kind of pushing it for Kurt Busch, I will say, but I don't think anyone's going to play Kurt today because everyone's just going to play Bowman for $200 more. Like that's just what's going to happen. Alex Bowman is probably going to be the highest owned driver on the slate today. Well, that's not. Wait a second. Wait. Just talk. Sometimes I just talk and I don't even know what's coming out of my mouth. Out of the higher price guys, Bowman's probably going to be the most owned driver. I think Newman probably ends up being the most owned on the slate. So yeah, let's take a pause there for a second. Kurt Busch is not going to get a ton of ownership, but starts 15th, has a ton of places differential upside. And he ran pretty well for a good majority of that race yesterday, just didn't finish as great. He did finish well. Obviously, he's starting 15th. So he ran well for a majority of that race yesterday. So I think Kurt could be in for another good run. I'm going to go in there. Christopher Bell, I'm not playing. He needs to finish top 3 to pay it off. I'm not going for a top 3 from Christopher Bell. Matty D is one that I've seen people not want to go to because he didn't run well yesterday, but he actually did. De Benedetto was running pretty well. In fact, I had a really good lineup going, and he killed me with a speeding penalty. But that's why he finished bad. He had a speeding penalty and had to win a lap or 2 down. But before that, he wasn't running inside the top 15 for most of that race. Matty D should. It's not like they're going to a backup car or anything, as far as I know. They're just they had a speeding penalty, and stuff happens sometimes. So top 17 is all he needs to do. Where he has finished inside the top 17 in every race that he's been in the 21 car. Before yesterday. So, I really like Matt DiBenedetto again today, going back to him. And now, not needing to do that much, I'm fine with that. MDB sunk me, but it was a dump pit penalty. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't like he didn't run bad. He just had bad luck, and sometimes that happens. The opposite can be said for Chase Briscoe, who needs a top 13 to pay off his salary starting 24th, who finished 24th yesterday because he ran terribly. I'm not playing Briscoe at all. I am completely off him. I do not. The car showed no speed yesterday. It's been the same thing on this package all year. I thought maybe he had turned a corner, but I guess I was wrong, so I'm not going to be on Briscoe today. But Ross Chastain is probably my favorite play, below 8K. I really like Ross Chastain today. He only needs to do a top 18 to pay off his salary. Oh my gosh, Ross Chastain, man. Dude's been on a freaking roll this year, running so well. And he was running well yesterday, and then he had that awful restart where he got put in the middle and just lost 20 spots, then he hit the wall, and that was it. Now, he's going to, a new car. I assume it's not as fast as yesterday's car, but it's probably pretty good. These teams aren't bringing one really good car and another trash car. Going to a backup car is not the worst thing in the world. He should still run well. A top 18 should definitely happen. And a Ross Chastain top 10, definitely in the cards. That's what he's been doing a lot recently. So I really like going to Chastain. I'm probably gonna have so much Ross today. I want to get a ton of him. Chris Buescher starts on a pole no, I'm not playing him. He needs to get a top 3. No. Daniel Suarez needs top 8 to pay off his salary. We're not playing that. That's possible, but yeah, you're asking for a little bit there. Tyler Reddick needs a top 9. If you want to play Reddick, I think that's fine. I just have a hard time seeing him outscore some of these other guys priced around Ross Chastain or Cole Custer, or Austin Dillon. He can run up inside that top 10, pay off that salary, but I just feel it's just hard to see him outscoring some of these other guys around him. Cole Custer needs a top 23 to pay it off. Custer, he wrecked yesterday, but it wasn't his fault. It's just an unfortunate accident. Obviously he hasn't been great this year, but top 23, he should get that, or he should at least be competing for that. So I like Cole Custer. I just don't. The thing of Newman, who we're gonna get to in a minute, and honestly LaJoy, they just don't have the ceiling to finish in the top 10. I feel like Ross Chastain could finish top 5, but top 10 for sure. That ceiling is just so much higher. Some of these other back markers, I don't feel like they're must plays. It's scary to lock someone, but I'd rather lock Chastain and hope to get a lineup that outscores Newman Chalk. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that 100%. Austin Dillon starts 21st. He didn't have a good run yesterday, which kind of surprised me. He's been so great in his package all year long, and he just had a bad race. I don't really know what happened. I didn't hear anything about him all race, but early on he was running inside the top 10. I expect him to bounce back a little bit today. He needs a top 15 to pay off his salary. I feel like Austin Dillon should be able to get a top 15 today, so I'm going to go to him. Go back to him today. Probably not a ton, but I don't mind going to him. He should be able to do that. Eric Almirola starts 5th, needs a top 8. I'm not playing that. Bubba Wallace needs top 10. I'm not playing that. Ricky Stenhouse needs top 10. I do feel like it's possible. I'm still not going to go there. Corey LaJoy, I guess is more of a pivot off of Newman because of salary, and I don't hate that. I think Newman's ceiling's higher because he's in better equipment, but Corey LaJoy needing a top 24 to pay off his salary at probably close to half the ownership of Newman's is going to be someone that I don't mind getting to. I mean, starting 36, needs top 24 to pay off that salary. He's been running really well as of late. A lot of top 20 finishes recently. I don't mind getting that at all. Justin Haley, I don't know why he's $5,800. It makes zero sense to me. So he needs a top 21. Just a fade there. Another pivot off of Newman, I think, is Eric Jones. He starts 22nd. He needs a top 18 to pay off his salary. Obviously, he finished 22nd yesterday. But for the majority of that race, he was running 15th to 18th. It just didn't come together for him at the end on that late restart. So Eric Jones, it's definitely someone that I could see, running well in the top 15. He only needs top 18 to pay off his salary. I think this could be a low-owned play that I don't think anyone's going to go to today. So I don't mind getting that. Then you got Ryan Newman. Only needs to do a top 25. That's why he's going to be so popular, because he doesn't need to do basically anything to pay off that salary. So I'm playing Newman. You should probably play him too, but if you don't, there's pivots to get off him. I think Eric Jones, Corey LaJoie are decent pivots off him. Michael McDowell, not playing, needs top 9. Priest needs top 19. Alfredo needs top 21. Just when you have these Newman, Jones, LaJoie plays around there, I just don't want to go there. Busch, Bowman, Newman, Byron, Chastain, MDB for cash. Looks like a great lineup for me. That is, in fact, I was going to say, last night after that lineup is going to be so highly owned. I mean, but that's cash. It doesn't really matter. But I'm telling you, that lineup right there, that lineup's going to be duped in tournaments so much. I went on Draftkings last night after like they put out the numbers where everyone was starting. I just made a quick lineup just to see where I was at, and that's the exact lineup I made. And I was like, this lineup, I mean, I almost put it on Twitter, but you're not allowed to put full lineups on. This lineup is just going to be duped by everybody. But yeah, for cash, that's a good lineup. I mean, I'm not playing cash today because that's what I'm scared of for cash, is that everybody is going to be playing the same lineup. But if that's the lineup, I'd play in cash today. You can play MDB, Chastain, Larson, Hamlin, Newman, and leaves you $5,400. Yep, and that's a fine lineup. I'm not going there. I'm making all my lineups spend the money because I don't think. I mean, I want to play some of these guys that were fast yesterday that have a chance to really win. I want to get 3 of these guys up here, like Kyle Busch, Bowman, Byron. That's my core to go with. And then if you want to throw in Blaney or Logano or Hamlin or something, I want 2 or 3 of those guys, and so I'm probably not going to be leaving a ton of money over there. My concern with LaJoie is that he's with a lower funded team. Is the back of a bigger fall off? Honestly, I don't really know the correct answer for that, but I'm not going to be too worried about it, to be honest. I mean, I know it's a lower funded team, but they're not Rick Ware. Spire's not Rick Ware or Live Fast or what's the Quinn Houff team? Starcom or MBM. They're not those teams. They're in the just a little bit lesser funded than JTG Daughtery or Richard Petty Motorsports. So I don't think it's going to be that big of a fall off. So I mean, but I understand if that concerns you, but you don't really need to go to LaJoie today if you don't want to. That's why people aren't going to play LaJoie as much. They're going to play Newman, but I'm trying to get a little bit different, so I'm probably going to go to some LaJoie today or Eric Jones. Well, it took me 30 minutes to go through both slates, so questions. I feel like most of these questions today are going to be about the Cup race, but if you have any about Xfinity, go for that as well. I'm glad to take your questions here. Gonna get to watch these races in the car. At least Xfinity one. I'll probably be there by the time the Cup one starts. I just want to do a single entry for Xfinity. That's where we're going. Going a lot harder on the Cup today. Yeah, we'll just play this. All right, why not a pivot with Allgaier and Turney and only one of Cindric Gibbs? Avoid Barry. Feels very different. Cheapest is Buford, $1,500. Thoughts? I don't mind that at all. I don't think I'm playing Josh Berry today. I'm really just not too. I'm worried about that car, so I like that a lot actually. So going with an Allgaier pairing with a Gibbs or Cindric, that works for me. I don't have a problem with that at all. I think that looks good. And yeah, Buford $5,900 as your cheapest driver. I mean, you don't need to go super cheap on this Xfinity slate. There's nobody too expensive, so I like that. How was Corey LaJoie running before things went south? He was in I don't really exactly remember. It was early in the race. It was he was running in the 18th to 25th range throughout the race. That's what I remember. I don't remember exactly where he was, but he was running decently. Like, that team's been pretty solid recently. I mean, I thought they'd be awful this year, and they started out awful, but they've improved a ton. You know, Corey LaJoie, yeah, LaJoie isn't a backup. I can go find the backups for you guys. Give me 1 second. I just need to, like, make sure I'm in this contest. I'll go back and edit my lineup, but we just need to make sure I don't get locked out of this contest. All right, submit. That lineup is Joe Graff. All right. Let's go find a backup cars. I'll let you guys know everyone who is going to a backup today. I mean, pretty much everyone who wrecked yesterday. I know Chase Elliott isn't, which, like, kind of scared me off because that car was not really that good yesterday. I know he had some issues. All right, here's the guys going to the rear. Larson, Newman, LaJoie, Priest, Alfredo, Custer, Chastain. So, yeah, those are your guys going to the rear. And, like, most of those guys are already at the rear. Chastain, Custer, Newman are already at the rear. LaJoie are already at the rear. So, yeah. Custer or Dylan. In cash, Custer. In tournaments, Dylan. Oh, man, I don't know, man. Maybe just Custer in both. Custer's way safer. Just go Custer in both. That's a toss-up in tournaments. Cash, it's Custer 100% time, though. Any questions you guys got for me today? The Gibbs-Cindric debate for Xfinity. I like Ty Gibbs more, so we're going to go with him. Let me play Sam Mayer. Any questions? Any questions about this either slate? Xfinity Core plays. I'll get back to your other one. Brandon Brown, one of Cindric or Gibbs. Choose. They're same play to me. So one of those two, Brandon Brown, Buford, and Mike Snyder. I'd probably play Snyder and Moffitt if you want to go 5. I don't want to play Jeffrey Earnhardt. Yeah, J. Buford. Way better option. What percentage ownership do you think Larson? I don't think he's going to be too high today, man. I'd say probably about 20 to 30. I mean, he's still going to get, I don't know, maybe that might be a little much. I don't think he's going to be too highly owned, which I guess if ever want to get a low on Larson, stays today, but it's just because he's not, like, in a great spot. He's expensive, and he needs to do a lot to get a front lead laps. Like, I don't think he's going to be too highly owned today. Across the industry, I've really not seen anybody on Larson today. Like, I just haven't. And, I get it. It makes sense to me. So, man, I got to work on that lineup. What's the race start? 12:22. All right, we're good. We got time. All right, B-Dog Soba says, any Cup or Xfinity DK matchups you like up? I don't know. Let's go look. Honestly, let's go look at some DraftKings matchups. I have not looked at sports betting. In fact, I actually just placed a bet on Ty Gibbs to win. But that's probably all I'm doing for Xfinity. Honestly, the whole day. I don't think I'm going to bet Cup again today. Yeah, so I just bet Ty Gibbs to win. Um, driver props. Okay, so we got matchups. Noah Gragson versus Sam Mayer. I don't know. That one seems like a I mean, Noah Gragson probably finishes higher than Mayer, but Josh Berry, Riley Herbst. I don't know about that 31 car. AJ Allmendinger, Justin Allgaier. I like Allgaier over Allmendinger. I think he should finish higher than him. Um, Ty Gibbs, Austin Cindric's a toss-up, and Hemrick and Burton is a toss-up. So the only Xfinity one I like is Allgaier over um, yeah, hold on. Let's go Cup Series. Driver props. We got, oh, wait. Race matchups. Okay, Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano. That one's a toss-up. Dylan Jones. I would bet Austin Dillon to finish higher than Eric Jones. I'm probably not going to. It's not really great odds, but Kevin Harvick, Alex Bowman. I think I'd take Harvick over Bowman, honestly. He ran better all day. That's a tough one. I don't want to bet against Hendrick, though. Bubba Wallace, Suarez. That's a toss. Yeah, it's a toss-up. Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin. That's a toss-up. Brad Keselowski, Mark Truex. I think I go Keselowski. Kurt Busch, Tyler Reddick. I don't mind. Reddick's plus 108 to beat out Kurt Busch. I don't mind that. Byron Elliott, that's a toss-up. Busch, actually Byron over Elliott. His car's a lot faster yesterday. And then Busch or Stenhouse. Give me, I guess Stenhouse, but it's a toss-up. Yeah, I don't really like a lot of race matchups today. The only one I actually liked is Allgaier over Allmendinger. I think Allgaier could win. So. Any other questions for the slate for either slate today, guys? Any other questions? All good, thanks, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If anybody's starting top 10 in Cup, is Elliott a turning play? Yeah. It's just so hard. I just don't like. It's not a race where I feel like there's gonna be like the most laps anyone led yesterday was Kyle Busch led 30. Like I just don't think there's gonna be a ton of laps to be led that Chase Elliott could really just break the slate there. I just have a hard time seeing him outscoring Busch, Hamlin, Logano, Harvick, even. The one guy in the top 10 that I think I would go to is honestly Tyler Reddick. That's probably the guy to go to. Just join. You think Larson can win? Oh, yeah, of course Larson can win today. Of course he can. Of course he can. Doesn't make me love him for DFS, but I think he could definitely win. No way I'm ever counting that guy out. He should have won yesterday. I mean, he had it won. Yeah, he could definitely win again. If I had to pick one driver to win today, I would pick Kyle Larson. I don't care about no backup car. The dude's a freaking G. He's going to go off. Any other questions about Slate today? I did upload everything for Patreon, I think. Yeah. That all should be good. Did Xfinity last night and Cup this morning. Alright, we're good. Any other questions? Make sure to hit that like button as well, guys, if you're in here. Oh, thanks. Love your program. Awesome, man. Great to have you here. Thanks for the live work that you do, Nate. It's become a must-watch for me. Awesome, bro. Glad to have you here. Just grateful for all you guys being here as always. You know the vibes. Fun times, fun times. Sorry I can't do a separate one for each slate today, but gotta drive to the beach, so. Next week is Indy. I think it's just Cup and Xfinity next week. I don't think the trucks are racing. So, Saturday and Sunday. Oh, next week's 4th of July. Let's go. That's going to be a fun weekend. Is it me or is Hamlin the tastiest flavor today? Hey, man, go for it. I'm playing Hamlin today. I didn't really like Hamlin that much yesterday. Thank God that worked out. But, I mean, I like him a lot today. Starting 17th, yeah, I think he should run well. I like Hamlin a lot. Hamlin, Blaney, Byron, Custer, Newman, Bowman. Sounds great to me. I like that lineup. Any other questions before I head on out? Make some lineups, pack, and get out of here. I'll stay as long as you guys want, though. I got time. Kyle wanted to kill Denny yesterday. Yeah, he was mad. I don't even know what happened. I don't know. All of a sudden, he was talking about he was so mad at him. I don't even know, like, what happened to piss him off. It made no sense. I don't even... whatever. Kyle Busch is a quick trigger sometimes. But yeah, that was pretty funny. That was entertaining. Custer lived up to your expectation yesterday. Yeah. Cole Custer, man. That wasn't even his fault. It's just not that good. But that wasn't his fault. I honestly don't expect Custer to, like, do that much today. I mean, he's a good play, but if he doesn't end up optimal today, this is why I love Ross Chastain, man. Chastain is the guy today. Should have put him on the cover of this video. I don't even ever really like Ross Chastain, but I love Ross Chastain today. This is the day. And then watch, he's going to wreck on lap 2, and I'm just going to be screwed. Favorite Xfinity plays? Oh, I missed the question. I'll get back to that. Favorite Xfinity plays? I really like Sam Mayer. Either Cindric or Gibbs. Brandon Brown I really like. Snyder I really like. Brett Moffitt really like J.B. Bird. If you really want to go cheap, I think Earnhardt's okay. I think Colby Howard's okay. I think Carson Ware isn't iffy. Just a quick little rundown on Xfinity guys I really like. Ryan Newman at 5,500, is that a great sleeper for that price? He's not a sleeper, man. Ryan Newman's going to be the highest owned driver on the entire slate. Everyone's playing Ryan Newman. He starts 37th. He needs to get a top 25. If he just runs a race, he'll get a top 25. Like, he's, like, that should, as long as he doesn't wreck or have penalties or whatever, that this should be just an easy race for him to do really well. I don't see, he's going to be the highest owned driver on the slate, in my opinion. I don't see why he won't be. Yes, sir. So what should I do today? Should I go all in on Busch, Byron, Bowman? Like, go like 80-90% of them? I'm considering it, man. I just really am. Really am. Just bumping up the projection, putting them in the optimizer, and just going ham on those guys. I really think I am. I'm going to do it. Have a great day. We appreciate the intel. Yes, sir. You have a great one, too. Hopefully, good luck today. Make some money. It's been a rough... Yesterday was rough, so hopefully today's a lot better. I have good expectations for today. Usually when that happens, I always fall flat. Usually when I'm like, I'm not going to do good today, that's when I do well. So, whatever. But I have high expectations for today, so I'll probably come crashing down when William Byron blows an engine. And Sam Mayer catches on fire, flips over 4 times, and I just lose all my money. Alright, guys, I'm going to head on out. Thank you guys for watching. A nice little stream today. Be back next weekend. Good luck today. Hope you guys make some money. If you have any more questions about today's slate, just hit me up on Twitter. It's at NateLane_ on Twitter. That's my handle. You can go ask me questions over there. Have a great rest of your day.